Hi everyone! So, as promised, here is another collection of books that I'm getting rid of off of my shelves. These ones I feel like people are going to react really strongly to, so just as a preface, I'm okay with getting rid of these books. I took a long time to think about it, and you know, it's not tragic. I'm not like crying about getting rid of these books. It's just I don't need them, and I will explain why I don't need them as I go through them. But before people freak out and they're like, you're getting rid of all of your books, it's okay. It is okay. To those of you who are new to this channel, I am moving like 600 kilometers at the end of the month away from where I'm currently living, and I'm moving into a fairly small apartment, so I really don't want a huge collection of books. I'm trying to get my collection down to about like 200 books to move with, and yeah, it's a process, and I find it really interesting to like talk about like why I'm choosing to get rid of certain books, because I've really thought long and hard about the books that I'm getting rid of. So to get into it, first book, which is at the top of this box that's sitting beside me, is Penguin Poems for Love. I've had this for quite a while. It's really pretty. The cover is by Coralie Bickford Smith. I haven't read it since I got it. It's just one of those things where I'm kind of like, yeah, you're okay, but I don't feel the need to move it 600 kilometers. So I'm not a big poetry fan, so I think I'm gonna get rid of most of the poetry books that I have, just because I'm not reading them, and it's a waste of shelf space for me, so yeah. Next up is a collection of books that people are probably going to be really shocked I'm getting rid of, so I'm going to set that book down, and it is the cloth-bound Jane Austen books. I'm getting rid of all 6 of them. Now I am keeping, which you guys can see on the shelf behind me, Love and Friendship, because I don't have another edition of that, but I have decided that the vintage softbound covers are going to be my Jane Austen editions. I don't need 2 complete sets, and these are a lot heavier and they take up a lot more space than the vintage editions, and I prefer reading a paperback over a softback. I think the only one out of all of these that I've actually read is Pride and Prejudice, I want to say, because that's the one I've had the longest. So yeah, they're really heavy. Even just holding them up is like a struggle. So they're gonna go because I don't need 2 complete sets of Jane Austen's novels. I mean, I love Jane Austen, but I have Kindle editions if I want to read them on the go. I have physical editions, and I don't need 2. The next set is one that I've only half read, but I haven't been super impressed. So I just decided, you know what? I'm not gonna force myself to read things I'm only mad about, and that is the Nancy Mitford collection. I own all of them. So The Pursuit of Love, Love in a Cold Climate, The Blessing, Wigs on the Green, Don't Tell Alfred. I do really like these editions. Like, they're quite cute, and they're softback, and like I was like, oh, I really, really want them. But I've read Love in a Cold Climate and The Pursuit of Love, and I'm just kind of, they're not great. Like, it reminds me a lot of Evelyn Waugh, who's another author. I'm just pretty much getting rid of all of the works I own by him, because it's just, you know, it's just okay. It's not fantastic, and I kind of want my library in my new apartment to reflect books that I absolutely love, that have like moved me in some way. So Nancy Mitford, I'm not going to finish you. I gave you a fair shot, and you didn't really impress me. So yeah. On that train, I also have these blue editions of Evelyn Waugh's works. These are really expensive. They're like $50 to buy. I didn't get them for that price. I got them for quite cheap. So I'm getting rid of The Ordeal of Gilbert Penfold, A Handful of Dust, and Vile Bodies. I've read both Vile Bodies and A Handful of Dust, and I've read another one of his works, and they're kind of funny, but they're like Nancy Mitford. You know, they're okay. They're like eating candy. There's like momentary like, oh, this is fun, and then you immediately forget about it. Like, it's not something that sticks with you, and it's just, these have been sitting behind other books like 3 stacks back on these shelves and collecting dust, and I'm like, you know what? You're kind of heavy, and you're not worth keeping. Now, the next collection is a huge change, and you will see that it is gone. You can probably guess, if you've been watching my videos for a while, what I am talking about. I'm not going to show you all of them because I'm getting rid of the entire set. And that is the Penguin Drop Cap series. I had pretty much a complete collection. I was missing 3. And I decided I didn't need them. You know what? I've read the books that I've wanted to read out of them. Like, I read Moby Dick, I read Madame Bovary, I read Middlemarch. I'm just looking down at them now. I've read Great Expectations. You know, there's not really much else in there that I'm like dying to read. They've been sitting on my shelf for almost complete for the better part of a year, and I've never felt the inclination to buy the rest of them. It's just one I've been book buying. I just haven't wanted to allocate the funds to them. I haven't picked up any of them like since for over a year, and I'm just like, you know what? They're gonna go. They're beautiful. Like, I love the Rainbow collection, but I can't justify it. So yeah, my Penguin drop caps are going, and yeah, most of my cloth bound collection has quite fallen, and you know, this one's on the chopping block because I didn't enjoy Vanity Fair despite how pretty it is. So there will be more book hauls coming, and yeah, it's just, you know, it's a fact of life. When you move, books are the worst thing to move because they're so heavy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in any comments down below if you guys have any tips on how you decide what books to keep and what books to get rid of. I know for a lot of people it's really hard to get rid of their collections, but I have been slowly making the process of making my life more minimalist, and this is kind of the one thing that's been really holding out on like getting rid of stuff, and I'm feeling pretty good about getting rid of so many books. Like, it just feels really satisfying not to have to worry about having to physically move that weight. It is a literal weight off my shoulders. So I will see you guys in another video. Bye!